NASCAR E-Series here. We're at Charlotte Roval. Looks like I'm stepping in for the booth. Might be just by myself for a little bit, so it's going to be interesting to watch how this race unfolds. At the moment, we've got a battle up the front between, looks like Brenton Hobson and Brad Newman, the side-by-side, heading into the chicane. These boys have been fighting all night. Looks like Brad Newman also has a black flag, so he might need to come in for that very shortly. So that's going to be something to look out for.
Yeah, g'day. I'll join you at the booth too, Ryan, until we get going, my friend, as well, too, until we can join everybody. We're a little bit of daylight savings issue because, unfortunately, I think the state of Queensland decides we're going to do things differently to the rest of the country. And it's a little confusing, at least on the East Coast. Brad Newman does have that black flag. I'm not quite sure. Got a whole bunch of yellow flags, essentially, for the mid-pack. I'd say a bit of corner cutting happening at the moment here in Charlotte.
Yeah, it looks like some of the boys are being a bit naughty. I don't think that they do have an incident limit, so they will be taking advantage of the off-tracks as we see them heading into the right-hander, heading towards the hairpin. But yeah, I don't think there is any incident count, so they're going to be using all of the road that they can to get the best exit. But in the next couple of laps, we should see Brad Newman coming into the pit lane as we have Joshua here in the 080. Just giving Brenton Hobson just a bit of a tap there heading onto the oval part. We've got about 6 laps until the caution break for the stage, so I'm curious to see if Brad's going to be able to get his lap back or if he will go a lap down and we'll need to chase. But it looks like Brenton has grabbed a bit too much curb through the bus stop chicane there, Dean. But so far, the race has been pretty interesting. I've been enjoying watching it from the chopper cam with the team. So it looks like we got Tom Pritchard there. Oh, we've got a couple cars going around. It's Matty Raymond pile up there. And that's the number 68 there as well. I'm hearing a bit of complaints on the radio too. So I don't think that Matty Ray is too happy. But on screen here, we have Brad Newman heading down the pit lane to serve his drive-through penalty. I'm not too sure what happened. I believe that he did jump the start under that restart from that caution we just had. But looking at the back of Brenton Hobson, he's now the leader of this race. He has Joshua just riding the back of him there. You can see how close of a proximity he is getting. Tom Freer just sitting in the background there as well. He's going to be keeping an eye on the battle. Looks like he's just
he's going to turn him. Maybe.
Oh, that was pretty close.
Yeah, good on Joshua for backing off on that one. He realised it was a my bad situation, went a little bit too deep in the corner. He didn't want to completely turn the 88. He wanted to continue with the battles, of course, going on. He had the lift off. It will bring Tom Freer a little bit more into play. And then there's Matt Bailey and Blaine Densley as well, too, with Lewis Greathead hunting him down the background. 112 number car, yep, go ahead.
Yeah, that's right. And the boys that we're now watching on screen here, they were 3 wide before, so they aren't afraid to bang doors a bit. Jared Filsell trying to make his way through the field. Matter of fact, he's sitting 4th at the moment. He did start towards the back of the pack. I did notice during his qualifying session that he did invalidate both of his laps, so I'm not too sure what happened there. I don't think he did much practice either, so looks like Jared, coming off a win a couple rounds ago, just decided to jump into the Roval for a bit of fun. But so far, Dean, this the battles out on track have been pretty exciting. I've seen contact door-to-door action, cars hitting each other on the backside, and we did see that pile-up in that chicane. But so far, what's been your favourite part of the race?
I was setting everything up, presuming that we're going to be broadcasting at the 8 o'clock time as usual. So I kind of missed a little bit at the start. I came into the session, I was like, oh, they're already racing? What's going on? To set up all the production. So I can't really tell you too much at the moment.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised too.
I know I joined in and we basically just come to the air as there was a caution. Was that our first caution or second caution?
I believe that was our first caution. I think there was it was if I am correct, if I get my order in check, I think it was Chapman that just went a bit too wide on the double right-hander at the start of the lap, and he had to call a request to tow, and that brought out the first caution. But so far, we haven't missed too much, so it shouldn't be too bad. But 2 laps until the stage or until the pit lane closes, I believe. So I'm interested to see if there's going to be some strategy plays. I believe that some cars may come into the pit lane just a little bit earlier to grab a tyre set and do a bit of an undercut with the boys that are staying out. But so far, the battle at the front is quite interesting, even though that we did have Brad Newman go into the pit lane before. It looks like he's been able to stay on the lead lap, so he should be okay for when we do go to the stage. But his teammate Jared Filsell, he is right on the back of Tom Freer. Matter of fact, he's going to make a dive up on the inside. Tom Freer's gone a bit wide.
Wow. Yeah.
Taking a little bit of a wider angle there. That's going to be interesting to see as they head down the back stretch through the NASCAR turn 2, heading towards the bus stop chicane. He's going to be on the hunt for the car in front of him, Joshua, who's sitting about 8 turns back from the leader, Brenton Hobson. He's taking using quite a lot of curb there. Jared not using too much curb, considering that Joshua Edison did pretty much put his entire car over the top of those. So definitely using all the track, like I mentioned before, with the no incident limit. But one of the trickiest corners of the track for me personally, when I was doing practice, is this bus stop chicane because it can catch you out quite easily.
Got him. Contact! You can turn him here, Will. Wow. That'll be very interesting as Joshua goes off into the inside apron. They won't be too happy with that one. You can see it was elbows out for sure. Jared was trying to definitely fight his way back up 22 places. Of course, he's fighting his way up to the front. But I'm pretty sure at the moment the 80 machine of Joshua will not be a happy camper on that one. And let's see about that later on if those two drivers manage to come line astern in this race a little bit later on. I'll see whether or not he's going to want to be elbows out in that one. We don't encourage it, of course, but you never know. 3 left to go in our stage, and we'll go to a caution.
Yeah, that's right. Matter of fact, I did notice that on the timing tower that we do have a couple cars entering the pit lane. Looks like Brad Newman, Andy Barber are 2 out of the drivers. I think there's, I think they're the only 2 drivers that have come into the pit lane so far. So they are anticipating this caution period coming out for the stage. So they're just ducking in a little bit early. Brad doesn't really have much to lose after taking that penalty, but just before seeing on screen that car getting turned around, that's definitely going to shake up the race because the 080 there is, I think that is Joshua. He's just sitting on the back of Kai Ardley and Brian Borg, Aaron Borg, sorry. So he has fallen back quite far back from where he was before. Matter of fact, he comes into the pit lane before the stage ends. Dean. So, yeah.
Exactly, as I mentioned there, because of the fact that you said it's key to get track position. Obviously, you can overtake around it. We saw a few of the overtakes, but it's not always easy. So drivers are going to say, well, you know what, I'll come into pit road, and then when the rest of the drivers elect to go down there during the first stage, which will be over in a couple of laps, then they're going to be able to jump them all and then have that track position. Brenton Hobson at the moment in the lead by about almost getting close to 2 seconds, with Jared probably had to back off a little bit after that situation. The 88 here should be with 1 lap to go on our first stage. Gets the job done. Thank you for the little bit of a delayed start in the broadcast at the moment as Campbell's out there. Yeah, broadcasters online. Yep. Well, as you said, and Ryan was filling us in and filling in the booth at the moment too, that we only had 1 caution early in this race, so a bit of a switcheroo. But so far, it's we still got a lot of racing to go, my friend. Still got 44 laps.
Yeah, 44. Yeah, there's tons of racing, like you said, 44 laps to go. Looks like Brenton Hobson's got a bit of a gap to the 94 of Jared Filsell behind him. You can see how far that gap is. There's quite a large gap between Jared Filsell and Tom Freer as well. Looks like some of the cars here are separating a bit. They are anticipating the stage that is about to come out in the next lap. Oh, Kai Ardley on the inside of Brian Borg. Oh, Aaron Borg, sorry, I got that mixed up. They made a bit of contact. Looks like Kai has got a slowdown, so he's going to need to serve that. He might fall back a couple seconds. But focusing up the front here, we do have Brenton Hobson that is just sitting there for position. I noticed on the back of the car too that he does have a little bit of damage, so I wonder if he'll try and fix that under the stage. It looks like he's been rubbing and racing quite a lot, probably from the battle with Brad Newman, but so far he's heading through the hairpin down into NASCAR's turn 2. Sorry, so in a second we will have the stage caution as he still looks like Brenton Hobson is. Wow. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up in the race chat as well. He is still extending that lead on Jared Filsell and Tom Freer.
Yeah, with the one to go at the moment, as you'd mentioned. It looks like Dave Douglas might have had a little bit of moment as well, too. We'll see if I actually get a chance to go back and have a look at some of those replays, some of those incidents. Thank you for joining us. But that's the situation as it is.
And it looks like the stage is going to come out in the next 20 seconds or so. It's going to rely on Josh Micklemore here. So once Josh crosses the start line in about 3 or so seconds, there's a big lockup from Tyler Williams there as well. Yeah, the broadcast you see. But the caution comes out for the stage break. I wonder who's going to come in, who's going to stay out, and I wonder if that undercut from Brad Newman and Andy Barber is also going to pay out.
Yeah, Jared almost gets fishtail and coming out of the corner as well, too. Biggest gainer up 22, but yet to make a pit stop. Ethan Winner, you'd have to go all the way back in a P16. He has made a pit stop, but I'm showing, I can't really show the actual laps, the pit stop, because I joined the session a little bit later than after it started, so my software is only going to go from the moment that I joined. But that'll be interesting. We are that Trent Gosley is going to make a pit stop, Jason Martin. There's a few other drivers that have been down a pit road. They're going to be jumping all these positions when they come down. Mr. Ryan, have you have you much experience, of course, with the Roval version here of Charlotte?
In the trucks, I did quite a lot of laps there. I was able to pick up quite a lot of pace. I am comfortable in the truck, but I'm having some technical problems myself, Dean. So my clutch pedal, isn't working. So it's made it quite difficult for me to even keep the car on track because, I rely on the clutch, surprisingly.
Some drivers don't even use the clutch, mate. I'm surprised. You do go old school.
Yeah, so I like to use the clutch for my downshifts and my upshifts and that kind of dealio too. So, that's kind of thrown the race away for me. So I was able to sit up in the chopper cam and watch my teammates, Tom, Aaron, and Dad out on track. So that's pretty cool. I was doing a bit of spotting, and then I got a message from Jason before. Yeah. So, I'm not used to commentating. I haven't done this in quite a while, so it was a bit of a surprise. Matter of fact, I'm a bit cold now because my aircon's on. Usually I'm racing and I'm all sweaty. So
of course you're not counting. Yeah, you're not taking. And you're up in Queensland as well too, mate. Right? You guys are up in Brizzy, where I am.
Yeah. I ain't got a
pretty
cool
warm
suit,
one
so.
today.
Yeah, I can't wear a cool suit, so I have my aircon on. So I guess that's a good counter. But so far, we're on lap 16 out of 57. We have 40 laps to go before the end of this race to decide, the winner for the playoffs here. So on screen, we actually have my old man, Andy Barber. He is currently sitting where he started. I don't know if that early pit stop really
But counts. He has pitted. It's back on lap 11, well, it's showing us here. So that's, he's pitted on lap 11. So that he's showing up, but that's Brad Newman, remember, that just up the road from him. He boxed down there as well, too, on lap 11. A few other drivers have pitted. But we're getting to see this front field jump into pit road. I thought they should probably get ready to jump in soon, I would imagine, my friend. I don't even know where the pit lane entrance is in the Roval track.
Yeah, so at the moment, I believe we're looking up the front here at Brenton Hobson, Jared Filsell, Tom Freer. We also have Matt Bailey, Blaine Densley, Lewis Greathead, Aaron Borg, Kai Ardley, Fitzroy Beaumont, and Joshua Micklemore. That is your top 10 so far. It looks like there's a bit of a traffic jam at the back of the chicane now. That's a bit unusual for us to see, but the pit lane entry is just around this corner here. So if we just jump on board with Brenton Hobson, we should be able to see just on your left-hand side where the timing tower is. You should be able to see very soon where that pit entry is.
Yeah, you'd imagine he'd be coming in if he's electing to come in. This is something. Yeah. Yes. So there it is. It's going to wait till the very last moment, of course, and why not?
It looks like all the boys are coming in. Brenton Hobson, Jared Filsell, pretty much everyone so far. I don't think any car has actually been No car so far is actually staying out. I'm actually going back in the iRacing software itself. Actually, no, it looks like the
Joshua?
080. Yeah, Joshua, and it looks like maybe the 66, I believe that is.
Newman,
Yeah.
Andy, they are staying out as well to be as expected because they pitted back in lap 11, so they're going to gain all these positions. And we'll put Joshua into the lead right now, as you can see the timing tower. And then Tom Pritchard as well too stayed out. So all these drivers have got themselves crucial track position here for the final remaining 40 or so laps of this race. Essentially, you'd have to say, after those pit stop, Brad Wright, I'm showing here, didn't come in, but we're not 100% sure if that's correct. But Brenton Hobson, he comes back out after winning stage 1 in position 7.
I'm actually interested to see how this plays out because Brenton Hobson was the leader. He's currently going to be starting behind Andy Barber and Tom Pritchard there, them two staying out. Same with Brad Newman before too. We saw that he did get the penalty just before for that jump start, so he's back up in contention. He's definitely a good tyre saver as well, so I feel like it's going to be a really, really tough battle here for Brenton Hobson, Jared Filsell, and Tom Freer in the top 3 to even start to make moves on Brad. He also has warm tyres as well, so that's going to play to his advantage. On screen here, we do have the playoff standings. Ethan Winter currently your leader on 43, no, plus 43, whatever. Ethan Winter, your current leader. His teammate Clayton Davies in second. Tom Freer from Synergy with Brenton Hobson, his teammate. So there's some good teamwork up the front there. So the top 4, we got M Borg, we have Blaine Densley, Josh Mickelmore, Kai Ardley on the cutoff line. Brad Newman just below that cutoff line. He'll be looking at getting a good position here at Charlotte Roval for the playoffs to keep his contention hopes alive. Same with Tyler Williams and Andy Barber. I'm not sure if Riki Hyde is out on track tonight, but if he is, he might just
He's currently running an 18th, so he is out there, as you'd mentioned. So you got Dad out there. Dad's if he get himself he needs crucial points, of course, desperately. He and Newman obviously needs some points there. Tyler Williams needs some points there on the bubble, of course. And Kyle, don't forget, Kyle might not necessarily be safe here. Josh Mickelmore is not in the session. I believe he got caught out. Oh, no, Josh Mickelmore's there. My apologies. In P15 for the moment.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see how this strategy plays out for the boys up the front. Andy Barber staying out as well. And we were just looking at the playoff standings. He is just below that cutoff line. So he's going to be trying to stay where he is in his respective positions. Riki Hyde also the last driver in that fight for the 8. He's down the back in 17th as well. So he's going to be trying to make some moves to collect those valuable points for the playoffs. But looks like we're 1 to green. The pace car lights are out. They are gone double file in the road section here. So I'm intrigued to see how this battle plays out.
Yeah, I mean, another caution could be triggered by a big pile-up or an incident. Of course, re-rack them, restack them increases drastically the chances of a caution perhaps happening. Let's see if they can get it through smoothly. You can gain a lot of positions, of course, early days, but you can also lose a lot of positions if you get into a tangle. Only thing at the moment, isn't it? You want to be a bit cautious, especially those playoff drivers, if you're running in that midfield or if you're running at the back there, because you just want to be getting yourself safely through any incidents here and just get on with your regular racing and overtaking, perhaps, if you could do it. But let's see how it's going to pan out, my friend, because a lot of nerves this deep into the playoff season.
Yeah, that's right. And for the ladies and gentlemen at home, I forgot to mention that on your left-hand side on the timing tower, I believe that the playoff drivers are highlighted in that grey colour, just a little bit lighter than the other drivers. So Brenton Hobson so far, Andy Barber and Brad Newman are the top 3 playoff drivers in the race so far, with Tom Freer sitting there in P9, I believe. So that's going to be interesting to see. Also, there's a bit of a stretch here till the end of the race. These boys still have a good 38 laps left in the race, so they're going to need to try and stretch their tyres out as far as they can. Try and manage the tyre wear as well. That's going to be a playing factor in tonight's race as well. It's not going to be easy, especially around the Roval here. It does tend to be a bit of a tyre chewer for your front tyres, which is a bit different to what they're used to, especially when a lot of the key contenders in our regular oval series here tend to burn those rears. Also, it's going to be very easy to light up those rears here tonight as well, considering that we do have quite a few slow corners here where, especially the hairpin, when you're trying to get on the power on the banking, it's very easy to start to spin those tyres and heat them up. So that's going to be a probably a key factor here. I wonder if anyone's going to come in for a pit stop as well. But we're coming to the green flag here. They've just passed the pit entry, heading into the chicane. So Joshua and I believe in P2 that will be...
Oh, Brad Wright.
Yeah, Brad Wright. Sorry, don't really see him often, but good jump for them. It looks like Joshua is heading into turn 1 in the lead so far. Nicholas just sitting behind. Brenton Hobson is just tucking himself behind there. Two of those, both of those Lobs esports drivers, Brad Newman and Jared Filso, will be sitting there as well. And then you have the two Southern Star cars, Andy Barber and Tom Pritchard, there below. A bit of shuffling down the back, and it looks like Tom Pritchard's trying to make a move on the 91 there of Tom Pritchard, heading into the chicane. Oh, it's getting good. Especially heading into the hairpin. It's very hard to go from double or triple file and then getting a good exit there. Also, Aaron Borg just sitting at the bottom there on the banging. He's sitting right behind the number 51 of Matt Bailey as well. Matt Bailey is also on the hunt here for Tom Frick and Tom Pritchard, so I believe that Aaron Borg will just be sitting there and trying to figure out what's happening here. But Blaine Densley, I think it's just...
big door banging going on there between Tom and Matty, battling for 8th and 9th currently at the moment in this in your picture. Of course, Tom Ferry up the road, the playoff driver, contender that is. Densley's watching in the background here nervously because he cannot afford obviously to get into any accidents, as well as Borgie. You can see all the highlighted drivers. They're the ones that are in the playoff hopes here that they need to get some certain points, of course. And you're not necessarily always guaranteed unless you say winter is. But Fitzroy Beaumont is around somewhere too, my friend. And there he is in a very dangerous place. He has to wait for a lot of cars to zooming by. It's not a pretty picture to be, but you got to give hats off to the drivers that do that, because there's no point in spoiling somebody else's driver by rejoining unsafely.
Yeah, and it looks like Clayton Davies up the back of the track too. He's made contact with the wall. And looks like his engine is pretty much gone. As we go back on board with Clayton Davies, you can see the smoke there. Oh, Riley Curtis is around too. Quite a few cars just heading into the right-hander before that hairpin have got themselves into trouble. Riley Curtis crab walking, and Blaine Densley there, his car smoking. I wonder if he's going to get that car to the pit lane before that engine expires, but then that will cause another caution. Brenton Hobson going deep in that chicane in front of Andy Barber. But I'm just watching the chopper cam here of the boys down the back, seeing if he will be able to bring that car back with that damage, but that will be night over for those.
Long way to go, isn't it? It's like the song, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. It's definitely a long way back to pit road. Tom Frere goes a little bit awkward out of that corner, gets a slowdown as well too. So he'll have to allow the drivers of Borgie through, maybe even Greathead. No, Greathead will manage to tuck in behind. So that's the punishing part. If you go off the track limits, I've got it up in the telemetry. I've got a little yellow flag that pops up next to the driver's name. That means that they get a forced slowdown by iRacing. They can only stick to a certain delta. They can't go any quicker. And it's frustratingly painful, but that's what happens. That's why you have track limits on there, so you can't go completely cutting the chicane and getting a massive advantage.
That's right. These boys do have the unlimited count, but iRacing makes sure that they don't take too much advantage over that. There is a bit of a boundary there that the boys shouldn't be crossing, but so far no caution. I think that those two made it back to the pit lane, so they'll be trying to repair their car. But so far we're looking at the back of Jared Filsell here. He is having a good battle with the 66 of Nicholas.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce his last name, but the battle for Garrett.
But the thing is, too, what Jared could do here, I'm not sure if he is. It just seems like he's racing his own race. I mean, he's very quick, obviously, at the Rovals here because he's up 22 places back up the front where he likes to be. There's the smoke you can see from the pit lane entrance before the car was blowing up. A lot of damage back of these cars because they've had a little kerfuffling that's going on. Here's Newman trying to get past as well, so he'll get past Nicholas. And I was saying it before about Jared. Jared could be like a teammate essentially here to Newman to help him out later in that one because Fissel's not in these playoffs, whereas Newman is, and Newman needs the points because he's on the bubble, of course, just looking in on potential next round playoffs.
Yeah, and I believe that Brad will also be looking at the bigger picture here, seeing that he is the leading playoff driver. He's going to be taking his mark. Oh, there's contact, and it looks like Tom Pritchard's heavily damaged Ren Campbell down to the double right. He's in the barrier as well. Both those cars are destroyed. You might see a caution here as we see Tom Pritchard is not moving. I think he just requested to tow. So we will see any second if we do get a caution. Jason Holdsworth also on the mic here watching the replay.
Yeah, caution's been called.
We do go into caution. It looks like Tom Pritchard just hit the wall hard. Gone wide, and then that's just been, well, the end of his night. His engine has expired straight on contact. That's a bit unlucky for... I don't remember who that is, but the victim there as well.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, we also have Wesley in the broadcast booth, so he is my saviour.
Wesley's on schedule of when it was supposed to be, but of course it was just caught out by daylight savings when it comes to the actual broadcast times that have started. So, yeah, no fault. Wesley will be sorting himself out in a minute, no doubt. He's just getting ready because... realistically be scheduled to be starting in 5 minutes from now, but we have started early. Just so filling you in on that one, Wesley, due to some little daylight savings kerfuffling, let's just say, that happened with the broadcast, we are actually underway the race an hour earlier. Broadcast started, give or take, 30 minutes ago, but we are
goodness,
still...
that's not my fault.
No, it's not your fault, Wesley. No, it's fine. But we still have 34 laps to go. And I think it's our third caution here this evening, if not fourth. We had our stage break. Josh, we're in the lead. Welcome, Wes.
Yeah, we've had our stage break so far. We've had 2 cautions so far. We just watched on the broadcast before Tom Pritchard getting caught up. But Wesley, I think it's our first time speaking to each other in the booth here. It's good to see you, man. How's your night going so far?
So my question is this now. Do I need to, get up at 5 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, you do,
instead of 6 a.m. now?
We've changed something in Australia now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
You got just like you guys have daylight savings over here. We do it, but unfortunately...
sure.
It's my state that's changed something. I don't know what it is, but my state's changed something.
Oh, my goodness.
Too.
Wow.
All the other states have changed. I don't know. It's all confusing to me. I'm on a different time than the rest of Australia on the East Coast now, so... Same as Ryan is as well. He's also in my town, Brisbane.
Yeah, I believe.
Well, I mean, we have daylight savings time coming up here in the next. I think the end of the month actually is when we have our daylight savings time, and you set your clock
that might change
back
again too,
an
Wesley.
hour. So
we'll
set your
see.
clock back an hour. So that might be what's going on in my life. So, but I'll remember to set my alarm to now 4:50 a.m. instead of 5:50 for the time being.
Unless your daylight saving change, and then it might balance itself out. I'm not really sure.
Maybe.
How that,
maybe.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, as Ryan's posted in the chat, my savior. Well, Wesley, this has been very.
I like the Roval.
Interesting. It has been a very interesting race. We've had another caution now. I'll let you know what happened in this last caution. Now we'll pull that up on our Burl. Give him a Burl replay. Well, hang on. We've got pit stops before. Whoa, last minute decision there from Brad Newman to head in.
How about that? No, you know, Ryan, likewise, my friend. I know I've called some of your races, and I haven't worked with you in the booth before, but looking forward to, working with you tonight. I appreciate you stepping in. I did not know. that, you started an hour earlier, so I thought I was on time, and I'm an hour late. So the Berlin Motor Group, and thank you for covering with Dean. But, man, Charlotte is fun. The Roval. I was at the Roval, actually, Ryan, working with NASCAR this past Sunday at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So, man, I love it looks like the real deal, man. It's just the amazing work that iRacing does to make these things look like the real venues and the way the setup is. And we got pit stops now done, and we're not done with this race either. We're only 24 of 56 laps.
Yeah, we're only 24 laps in, and there's been so much action so far. We've seen 2 cautions, a stage break. We've seen Brad Newman. He copped a penalty for a jump start earlier in the race. He's back in contention in third. We got Tom Free, the current leader, as well. We've had heaps. Jared Filsell started down the back. He's up in the top 10 as well. Plenty of action so far. Wesley, but touching base on iRacing scan, I'm actually shocked with how realistic it is compared to real life. I wasn't at the track like you were, Wesley, but I definitely watched the broadcast on NASCAR Live, and the realism in iRacing is just uncanny. So
yeah,
it's just massive to see how much work that these developers put into the simulator or the game, whichever you want to call it. So that's pretty cool. On screen as well, Wesley, we do have the playoff standings. Ethan Winter currently leading the playoffs with his teammate Clayton Davies in second. Tom Freer, Brenton Hobson, M Borg, that's your top 5. Blaine Densley, Josh Mickamore, that is your 6 and 7. And then right on the cutoff line, there's a fight between Kai Ardley and Brad Newman as well, with Tyler Williams, J Barber, and Riki Hyde. They are also just below the cutoff line there, so they'll be trying to bank some good points to try and save you their playoff contention.
We're about ready to get this back going again here, as it looks like the lights are still on the pace car. There's a look at, obviously, the final race in the round of 12 here tonight, as we are obviously showing you the upcoming schedule. This will be 4 drivers eliminated, and we'll have 8 drivers next week going into the month of October. Midway through, we're going to Vegas, Talladega, Pocono. That should be fun. And then, of course, Phoenix on that Tuesday to decide the championship. So there you go.
Yeah, and I'm definitely excited
to see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this championship will pan out too. So I know that quite a lot of the drivers here, especially Tom Pritchard, he's now out of the race, matter of fact. But I know that there's quite a few drivers in this field that are quite strong at Talladega, so I feel like it's going to be anyone's race. And we do head to the Tricky Triangle as well after that as well. But iRacing doesn't head there in their official program, so these drivers are also going to need to be smart with their setups as well. They need to build their own sets for the race too. So that's going to be a spanner in the works as well. But we are going green this lap. These drivers are single file. It's going to be a battle between Joshua and Tom Freer up the front here, Wesley. But I'm going to leave this to you. I'm going to sit back and hopefully you don't wake up your neighbours.
Yeah, we saw that.
Oh, the lights are off on
Don't
the
mention
lights
Talladega
are off on the
to Wesley and I, okay? Because we've just been enough through Talladega today.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Talladega. Yeah. What time did that race finally end? I know I had to leave because I had another iRacing obligation. But
I think about 20 minutes after you left. But anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's
17, 18 cautions. I know the time ran out. So
yeah. With about 12 laps to go. Anyway. 24, 56 laps completed. Lights are off on the iRacing pace car. A beautiful iRacing Porsche pace car, if you will, as it is working its way down into turn number 1 and 2 of the real speedway here at Charlotte. Coming off of the inside course here at the Roval. Where's your booth, Wes? Was it? I couldn't see it before. Where you usually sit for the broadcasting.
Freer and Houghton, followed by Hobson, Newman, Bailey, Garrett, Barber, and Borg. Right there, weather conditions. Are you talking about the announcer booth at Charlotte?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, you need to zoom in to the front straightaway and go all the way to the top. The next time we get a caution, we'll show you where I was at Sunday. So Lights off on the pace car, everybody, and we are going to get this thing back underway. Here they come through the chicane or bus stop, as people call it. Saw a lot of exciting moments happen through this part of the racetrack. Trying to avoid the turtles as well. Heroes in a half shell, turtle power. Yeah.
Yeah, the turtles are definitely playing a factor here. We did see a couple cars, take too much of those turtles as well. You can kind of rest your car on them to get through the chicane. But earlier tonight we did see a bit of a pile-up caused by the turtles, so that's going to be interesting to see. But we're going to go green flag once again. We have top 3 and Joshua Holton, I think. Is that what you said?
Yes, it is.
Holton, yep. Here we go. Back to the Echo Park Automotive restart zone, and here they come. Back underway. Green flag in the air. We're back to it again. Let's see what happens as these guys work their way now into the final stage of the race now. 31 laps to go. Yes.
Oh, we got a car around.
Oh, look out, baby. Trouble.
Oh,
my goodness. Kai Ardley airborne. Wow. And remember, that's not going to trigger a caution. They're only got one caution in the... we're still staying green. Look at this.
There's a couple engines hurt there. We got just behind Kai Ardley, we have Lewis Greathead. You can see the engine smoking quite a lot there, and I'm watching him live. And also, Ethan Winter there got caught up in that contact. His bonnet isn't even attached. He can't even see. So I wonder how he's going to be able to pull this thing up. But
just see. Yeah.
There we go. So no caution so far, but if we do have a request to tow come into play after that wreck that we did have the car there just before with the blown engine, if he is forced to stop, then he will need to request to tow, and then we will get the 3rd crash caution of the night. But here we are looking at the replay.
Yeah, look at this. Wow.
This?
That's Phil Sale driving in there as Greathead, and Kai Ardley gets sent flying thanks to Ethan Winter. Wow.
Looks like Kai Ardley should have signed up for a high jumping contest instead of this race, it seems. But here we are on board with him. Let's just see being driven into the wall. Oh, and then big contact there.
Wow, man. What heartbreak. Look at this again. Oh, wow. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Well, there you go. There's your Burling Motor Group replay for what happened.
I'm actually curious to see how Ethan Winter got caught up in that as well. I did see earlier that he just got a bit unlucky
He went off track.
Couldn't get through there. We are going to go back on the replay. So this is just after. It looks like Tyler Williams there is also pretty damaged as well. So there's quite a few cars in that. Matter of fact, Ethan Winter went off the track there. I assume he couldn't see. But we'll go back to live. We've got 30 minutes to go. Tom Free is still leading our race, with Joshua just 0.4 of a second back from Tom Free. Just sitting there saving tyres. Same with Brad Newman. Brenton Hobson's fallen back a little bit as well as these drivers start to get into a rhythm, Wesley. And looks like we also have some more contact down the chicane as well that we will probably take it.
Everybody, you're checking out what is the pressure at its peak. The round of 12 finale heads to the Charlotte Roval here tonight. You're watching it here on, of course, Australian NASCAR Championship, a track that blends high-speed oval sections with the technical infield corners of thus creating what is known as the road course oval, in short, the Roval. With just one race left now to decide the round of 8, every lap is, of course, mattering. The Roval is unlike any other thing you've ever seen before. Narrow banking zones, unforgiving walls, and no margin for error whatsoever. Survival is often as important as speed, except drama on restarts. You're going to see some of that craziness we saw a moment ago, like with Kai Ardley and others getting airborne. Strategy gambles and last lap desperation moves are all going to be on the docket. And, of course, when the checkered flag falls, 8 drivers will keep their championship dreams alive. The rest will see their playoff hopes end at one of the toughest tracks on the calendar tonight with the Berlin Motor Group X Series. The Roval is ready to test the best. Right now, you're seeing it as Right, here they come, working back through turns 3 and 4, which is actually turn 14. Here they come into turns 15 and 16. And this changes everything. Look at Del Phil almost going off course.
He'll get a caution flag, Wesley. So what it'll do is iRacing will force him to slow down. That'll actually bring Andy maybe into play here to get the power down. Should be able to know that, but was he too far back to take advantage of that one? Not quite sure. But remember, Andy Barber needs all the points he can looking out on this championship as he's battling it out with Borgie and Ryan behind him.
So basically, you're saying it automatically slows him down, like it takes his momentum away, if you will.
Yes, sir.
So it will detect that he's just gone a bit too far over the limit and he's gained a time advantage. So then you'll penalise him and tell him that he needs to slow down for a certain amount of seconds, or he will cop a drive-through penalty. But just before that, we saw Nicholas just lining up the rears there. Looks like he's trying to chase up the 87 there of Riki Hyde. But before on the screen, we saw M Borg and Andy Barber fighting each other. Matter of fact, they are teammates for this race. So I believe there might be a bit of team practice with approaching one front. The battle has tightened its way up. Brad Newman is third. He's right on the back of Joshua's rib. Matter of fact, I give a bit of a tap coming through the chicane here. Tom Free is going to be feeling the pressure.
Newman gets a slow down. There it is. So Brenton Hobson will go around the outside of him. Sorry to cut you off on that one. That's just an indication of what happens if you use too much of the track limits.
Yeah, that just shows first
mistake and get penalized.
That's right. It shows firsthand how quickly the battles can change, because Brenton Hobson was just sitting there behind Brad, and all it took was Brad to make a mistake. Ethan Winter also cuts the chicane as well. I believe that he might also get a slow down, but as we are still watching the battle at the front here, Tom Freer, he's just defending his lead here from Joshua, who's now putting the pressure on, and same with Brenton Hobson. Oh, contact! And then side-by-side through NASCAR Turn 2, and it looks like they've just decided to go single file and behave themselves one more time. They line their way up, down to the bus stop chicane down the back here. Remember, Wesley, with these turtles here, we're on board. Watch how they travel over these turtles. Joshua didn't use any of the turtles, but then you see Tom Freer, he got his car right up on top of those on two wheels as well.
And Tom Freer currently holding on to that top spot, coming off of turn 14 and 15, heading back to start-finish. It is Freer, Houghton, followed by Hobson, Newman. All these drivers, by the way, if you see the dark box, a gray box means that they're the 12 drivers that are in the round of 12. Remember, 4 of those guys are going to be eliminated at tonight's end, and 8 are going into the semifinals when we go back to racing next week, obviously. There is Freer, Houghton. Look at Hobson now. You're on board with Hobson. Brenton Hobson, what a year he's had. He's going after Houghton to try to get second spot, trying to go after the leader, and he's got Newman right behind him, right there behind him in the window. Look at this. One wrong slip, and the 40's going to take it.
Riley's gone off somewhere too, guys. Oh, off the track there, 93.
Yeah, it looks like Riley Curtis decided to do some lawn mowing. Going back to the fight for the playoffs here on that timing tower, I did notice that if we have a look at the playoff standings, that Kai Ardley, Tyler Williams, they are both out of the race as well. So that is, so Kai Ardley, who's sitting in 8th, he's now out of the race. And so is Tyler Williams. So it looks like both of their playoff fights are going to be pretty much over after this one. It's going to be very tight to see who or which one of those two would actually still be able to continue. But Brenton Hobson right on the back of Brad Newman. Matter of fact, Brad Newman's now on the back of Joshua, heading through turn number 1. This is a tricky section here. Wesley, when I was doing laps earlier, you actually don't go flat at all through there. They're sitting at about 50% throttle, dancing through there. It's very easy to make a mistake, as we saw earlier, the previous wreck that we saw, where Kai Ardley did take flight there. Oh, Joshua just dips 2 tires off the track there. It looks like he might go off again. That's going to be very tight for the fight for number 2, Tom Free, is going to be able to run away just a little bit, but this brings the 51 of Matt Bailey into the fight as well. So now it's going to become a 4-way fight for Brad Newman's position there in second. But we are sitting on top of the roof of Matt Bailey's car, as you can see. He's getting into the pass up chicane. Looks like they get through there safely. Now they're going to be heading to arguably one of the most difficult for me sections of the racetrack. It's really easy to overshoot this corner, start to break back here, get on the anchors, and then this fight is going to be close, Wesley.
Yeah, it certainly is, man, as they come back to the line. Look at this. We're under 25 to go now, 24 remaining. Here at the Roval, Tom Freer continuing to lead the way. Guys, I don't know if you can hear me okay or not. I'm pinging 256 ms, so I don't know if I sound like a robot or not. Yeah, it's just I've got high triple-digit numbers on my down below, so I just didn't know. So Jared Philsell right now. Look at this drive for him as he works now trying to get into the top 5. He's going after the driver of Bailey, and we got trouble. Nicholas Garrett around. The car that looks like Shane Van Gisbergen's car that dominated the real Roval struggles here tonight.
Looking at the replay here, the car just taps the... Oh, we got a bit of help there from the number 17 of Fitzroy Beaumont into the corner there. You can see that corner, that right-hand side of the car is seriously hurt. The car isn't even tracking straight, but look at the fight here in the chicane. They're making... Brad Newman.
That's Fizzell, actually. Yeah, a little bit further back here.
Fizzell, sorry. Yeah. Just a bit further back from
Same livery, exactly.
We're still going to fight this game.
Philsell and Newman got cars that look just exactly alike. And obviously, Ryan... Mr. Philsell wants to try to redeem himself. He had some bad luck last week after winning the week before at, I believe it was IRP, or at Worldwide Technology Raceway, actually. He wants to try to redeem himself and get back into a good spot. So we're watching him now, trying to follow what his buddy Newman's doing as he overshot the racetrack. Here he goes again, and he's going to get sideways, and he takes the car out. Oh, no! Hot and around!
Yeah, that's aggressive.
Oh, boy.
That's very, very, very aggressive here, you'd have to say. He was seemed to be out of position a little bit, and then just comes back in there and just fights with it. I mean, that's going to be something to be looked at a little bit. Not a playoff driver as well, too, but certainly in the mix there with some playoff drivers. So that's going to be something that's very, very interesting here. As Newman did take Hobson for the lead of this race at this point. And then Tom Freer in the background. Look at that, gentlemen. Top three drivers at least in the playoff. And then you got Borg, Hyde, Barber, and Densley. They're all battling it out tooth and nail. More importantly for those drivers and Newman, of course, they need crucial points here in order to see themselves in the playoff hunt for the final 8.
Yeah, that's right. And that battle that we saw just before that did end up in that contact. That was, that was pretty hectic. We did see that Jared Philsell went wide there, and then, that's how quick your race can turn from good to bad. That's all it takes is just wrong place, wrong time, and a bit of contact. But first up the front here, there is a pretty hectic battle here between Brad Newman and Brenton Hobson. They are fighting it out. Brad Newman, which does have pretty good experience here at this track too. He's really trying to save tires, but also try and keep a distance in front of Brenton Hobson. Looks like Tom Free's fallen back a little bit. Same with Jared Philsell and Matt Bailey after that contact. But so far, the top 3, they're all in the playoffs. So they're going to be banking some good points here. Looking further back in the pack, we've got Andy Barber, my old man. He's here fighting with Blaine Densley. Blaine Densley, who is a pretty good driver. It's pretty cool seeing Dad just sitting there waiting to make a move. I believe that, matter of fact, he's just having a little bit of a look there in the chicane. We do have the 07 there as well, just having a little bit of a peek of Dane Madden. Yeah, now here
with M Borg. And this, by the way, is hot. And remember, he got slammed into a moment ago by Philsell. He got spun sideways inside the inner part of the course. And now he's worked his way fighting back to stay in the top, well, in the top 10. He's outside the top 5 right now. But look at this now. Trying to go after him is M Borg, the AC Delco number 43, hitting his marks, looking high, looking low, letting them turtles be his friend. Right? The turtles can help you, or they can be disaster for you. As right now we see the 43 going after Houghton again as they work back inside the inner course of the track.
You notice on the pit road. Oh, we got Dave Douglas hitting the pit road. I did mention earlier tonight.
Oh,
Dean,
he spun some. Yep, go ahead.
So we might have a couple cars make their way down the pit lane a bit earlier in the race to take some tyres. Probably not even fuel. I believe that they should be able to make it to the end there, but just that tyre advantage plays a crucial part here as we're watching the 5 here. Just giving the 0-0 just a bump there in their hairpin. I don't think they exchanged words on the radio either. But M Borg out here on track. We will miss him this Thursday night for Charlotte Roval in the Truck Series as he is heading up to the Bathurst. The Bathurst 1000. He is racing in the support category in the VX Super. So make sure to check that out on TV as we see. Oh, looks like the 66 there that did get a bit of damage there from that turn 1 contact with the 17, just sliding it up. But yeah, you can see the bonus. Yeah, he's pretty well damaged, but he's staying out. He's taking. Oh, matter of fact,
he's too damaged, I think. Yeah, he's got some problems with that one, and he was starting to slide around the place everywhere. And I think it's probably just wise. Can't take the corner. Don't want to spoil anybody else's race on that one, unfortunately. But Battle still resumes at the lead here. As well as back, I'd have to switch that for a second, my friend, because Fitzy and old man Andy are going for it 2 for now, and that's Fitzroy Bowman.
Yeah, Fitzroy
20 laps to go, by the way. Yeah, 20 remaining as Fitzroy Beaumont battles here.
Sorry,
going
Hobson
after it. It's still Hobson now going for the lead, by the way. Hobson has just got around Newman. Newman's going to try to battle back on the back straightaway here before they head to the bus stop. He's on the inside of the chicane, trying to go for a crossover move. Hobson's right there on the door of the 40. Can he return the favor? No, he cannot. Heading up into turn number 13 and 14 here at the Roval. Look at the new leader. Boy, Hobson all up under the back of Newman, literally bumping him, skinning him sideways. Almost had a shot on the inside there, Ryan. He couldn't clear him. And while that goes on, Houghton and Borg continue their battle off of turn 14.
Yeah, they're battling hard. Oh, it looks like the 080 just copping bad total. That's what I mentioned. That's what I noticed here tonight, that there is good totals and there's bad totals, Wesley. You notice that a couple cars are able to just climb over that sausage curb, or the totals, whatever you want to call it. They're able to just climb over them, and it does help them with their lap times. But then there's also bad totals that will severely hurt the car. As we see a dive here from Jared Filsell, he's got Tom Freer in that move for the back end of the podium.
Yeah, look at this, Newman. Newman now in the lead. Hashtag racing for Newman. And he is the man up in front. But here comes Freer in 41. Correction, that's the battle with Filsell. Filsell and Freer now. Up ahead is Newman and Hobson for first and second. And there you see him working off the corner here, off of turn number 14 here at the Roval. Heading back to start finish. And by the way, they're coming up on 18 laps to go this time by. Also, look at Hobson on the bottom. He'll go to the lead on Newman as they go back into turn number 1. Woo, sharp turn. They used to call that the Tums Heartburn turn number 1. Not anymore, though. But that was what it was called.
Yeah, we got another slowdown down the back end of the pack, too. A couple of cars just cutting that chicane. I mentioned earlier tonight that it is a bit difficult to pull the car up in that last chicane. It looks a little bit easy on the broadcast, but the corner does approach a bit quicker than you think. But the battle at the front here is starting to get a bit hot here as So there, boys. But yeah, so the battle up the front here, Brenton Hobson, Brad Newman. They've built a bit of a gap over Jared Filsell and Tom Freer. We saw that battle unfolding. You can actually see that gap on screen, about a second and a half, 2 seconds back. But Brad Newman right up the backside of Brenton Hobson. He might look for a move here, heading into last chicane as well. So looking forward to seeing who pulls out of that one. But looks like they're just showing out there.
Yeah, I'm showing Densley as well too, because he's battling it out with Joshua behind him. But he needs to get these crucial points here for Densley. He, as you can see, is highlighted in the playoffs. So don't want to be battling it out too much with those drivers that aren't in the playoffs, of course. But those drivers that aren't in the playoffs, they still want to get maximum results here this evening.
You're right.
So they don't have to just pull over and let you through, of course. As you can see, Joshua goes off track there. That'll give him a slowdown. He's still going to fight for it at the corner, but Densley should know that, well, if his engineer or spotter let him know, hey, he's got to slow down, so don't fight him too much into the corner because he won't get the acceleration out of it, which he obviously clearly didn't, so Joshua there has to drop back a little bit. But the battle still resumes up the front there. And then also Hyde and Borg. This is crucial, of course, for Hyde because these two drivers, himself and Borg, they need crucial points in this championship. I'll show that again. I have to look at that one. See, Riki Hyde there, he needs all the points he possibly can. In fact, he probably needs a race win at this point, being P7th. With Barber's behind him at the moment. That's a good sign. That's all he needs to be. He needs to have everybody behind him. Unfortunately, he's not going to have Newman behind him at the moment, running in P2.
Right. Yeah, what a car count, by the way. 30-plus drivers, man. I got to give props to what Nigel Siddell and everybody that's involved with what they do with the BMG X Series does. I mean, normally I call races where, like, you get to the playoffs and the numbers drop off. We're still seeing all of the playoff guys battle here and still close to, 20 others racing. And that just shows a testament, Ryan, of just how competitive and fun the BMG X Series is for Australian NASCAR.
That's right. It's definitely one of the most competitive leagues I've been a part of as well, and all the drivers do race pretty fair and clean, as we see Dane Snadden heading into the pit lane there just to grab a set of tyres. But we've had quite a few big movers here in the field so far. Andy Barber, matter of fact, we're on board with him. He started in 29th. He's currently sitting in P11. Same with Riki Hyde. He started in 31st. He's 7th. Jared Filsell, I did mention at the start of the broadcast, he didn't really set a qualifying lap. He invalidated both those times. He is sitting in P3 on the timing there. He started in 24th, and then a couple of drivers through the pack like Matty Ray. He's up 10. Everyone's giving a good crack here tonight. It's not easy. Not a lot of these guys really know how to turn right with these cars. We're so used to turning left, especially me when pretty much all our race these days is the ovals. So it's good to see what drivers can race on both and who can tackle Charlotte Roval, as this is probably one of the trickiest tracks of the calendar so far. Fitzroy Beaumont looks like he's got past Andy Barber there. Riki Hyde now comes into the pit lane.
This one I wanted to ask you, Ryan,
we got
before
pit
we
stops
asked
going
Wesley.
on, man.
Yeah, Ryan, I mean, as a driver, can these drivers go to the end, or you think we're going to expect one more pit stop?
I actually believe that they might have been able to make it to the end without a pit stop. Just depends when the last caution was, because a lot of these boys would be filling their tanks up at each caution. I know that a lot of my team, we come in and we just grab a splash, no matter what. But tyre drop off at this track is pretty severe as well, especially for those front tyres. It's very easy to overdrive the car and overdrive those fronts, and it's very easy to light up those rears on corner exit too. So a lot of these drivers are opting to come into the pit lane and grabbing a set of tyres, for a bit of peace of mind, knowing that you do have a fresh pair of shoes underneath you, and it could also help in the long run too to catch up to these leaders if they are suffering on their tyre wear as well. But we're on board here with Jared Filsell. He's looking ahead at his teammate Brad Newman, who's currently sitting in second. He's fallen back a little bit from Brenton Hobson Brenton Hobson just putting a bit of a gap on him, on Brad Newman here, about a second and a half. So Brad's either struggling here in his tyres, or he might be trying to save it just a little bit to try and attack Brenton towards the end of the race. But 14 laps to go. This will go quite quick as they are, well, more pit stops coming in. Joshua coming into the pit lane after a couple of his incidents earlier. I believe that we might have quite a lot of the field coming to the pits to grab a fresh set of shoes.
Well, they'll come to 13 laps to go when they come to the line. Look at this now battle going on with the defending series champion. And that, of course, is Micklemore, the number one.
Slow down. Slow down.
Make a move on the bottom. Here he comes, the 66. Micklemore and Nicholas Garrich now battling. Here we go. All this happening as they work their way into the corner. 14 laps remaining as we continue to see this great action going on. In the back, that's the 68, 66 of Garrich. And obviously now we got teammates running each other down for second for the lead. It's Phil Newman going after Hobson. There he is up ahead. Lap traffic in the way with 13 to go at the Roval.
I'm just wondering at the moment too if they shouldn't be getting into each other at the moment, because if anything, Fisto should be helping out Newman here, because Newman's looking out in this championship 8, of course. Oh, in the 12, of course, to get into the 8, he needs all the points he possibly can, at least to get himself pretty much secured in there. If he gets it together with Fisto, who's got past him, well, it's race on between them, unless he's going to allow his teammate to zoom on by later on. I don't know.
And, well, these boys are here to have fun. They don't mind banging doors with each other. I don't think Jared really cares whether or not he gets into a wreck or not. He isn't in the playoffs, but Brad definitely does care. But one thing that we did miss, because we were watching this battle, is Ethan Winter coming into the pit lane for a fresh set of tyres too. So I wonder if these two on screen and Brenton Hobson are going to come into the pit lane in the next couple laps, or if they're going to try and stay out. Matter of fact, I think Ethan might be parking it after that contact earlier. So what I said is pretty much irrelevant, but still we'll focus up to the front. Look at the gap that Brenton Hobson has built over Jared Filsell and Brad Newman, nearly 4 seconds. So he's just running away, just like Jared Filsell ran away at IRP. He was unbeatable there as well. We are once again going to look at the Burling Motor Group X Series playoff standings here after Kansas last round. Ethan Winter being our playoffs leader, Clayton Davies, Tom Freer, Brenton Hobson, our race leader in 4th, Aaron Borg, Blaine Densley, Josh Micklemore, and Kai Ardley on the cutoff line. Brad Newman, who is currently sitting in 3rd position behind his teammate Jared Filsell in 9th. Tyler Williams, who is out of the race, same with Riki Hyde. No, Tyler Williams in 10th, he's out of the race. Andy Barber sitting in the 11th position, he's 11th in the playoff standings. And Riki Hyde, who's P12 on track, is also P12 in the playoff standings as well. So that's going to be interesting to see how these drivers play this out, and who's going to move around. Kai Ardley is also out of the race, so that's going to heavily impact his playoff.
Well, anyhow, it was 12 to go. Hobson works his way off the corner now, off of turn 14, heading back out of those final turns, heading to start-finish. 12 remaining. There you see another battle going on, as it is, of course, Matt Raymond battling, trying to go after Boyd in 79. All this happens now as he works his way back on the race course, heading into the turn, back up in racetrack turn 1 and 2, which is, by the way, Roval, turn number 9 and 10. All this going on now as they work their way to the back stretch here.
Daniel Boyd, I mean, I was going to say, these are two cars that don't have a dinged-up rear bumper on that, because you see most of the cars have, because there's been a lot of contact, obviously, into the heavy braking zone. So there it is at the moment. You can see a little bit of damage on the back there of Maddie's car, actually, there. But nothing for Daniel Boyd, actually, surprisingly enough. I mean, he's one of the cars that have been unscathed so far in this race, running P13.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of people are getting contact. My brother has ran into my room just before, as well as commentating. Showed me on his phone a car crashed outside my house, which is pretty interesting. So looks like the action has been happening on track and in real life for me too. I've been hearing a bit of both, so that's interesting. 11 laps to go here. We are looking at Andy Barber. We were looking at Andy Barber. Now we're looking at the back of Trent Gosley. It looks like Riki Hyde there. Just behind him as well. Trying to make a move here. Matter of fact, he will make a move here on the right-hander just before they go around the hairpin. A couple cars are in the pit lane as well. Looks like Brian Blundell has brought it in. Same with Riley Curtis, possibly as well. But this fight is interesting to watch too, because I would have thought that Riki Hyde would have tried to put up a bit more of a fight against the 04 of Trent Gosley as well, considering that Ricky's going to need to try and get as many points for this playoffs as he can. So that's going to be a big sacrifice as well. But Andy Barber is also sitting there in P12. Ricky did get Andy as well. They are fighting for the playoffs, as we can see on screen with their highlighted names in the tree, Wesley.
Well, right now, your top five is Hobson, Filsell, Newman, Freer, Bailey. Then it's Borg, Densley, Campbell, Beaumont, and Hyde. There's Orlando Black. He is in outside the top 15, trying to go after the 66 to Nicholas Garrett. As we are now heading into 9 to go. Look at now Black trying to hold off the Dane Diego Snaden entry. Snaden down to the inside, trying to run him down. This is a great battle on the racetrack, heading back into inside the...
Whoa! No
Diego, no way to go there for him. And remember, if you're one of these playoff guys and you're on the outside looking in, oh my goodness, every lap, every inch, every position, every second, everything you do counts here in these latter moments of this race at the Roval to go to the round of 8 here, Ryan.
Sorry, boys, got a bit distracted here as we are looking on the onboard here of Orlando Black. I believe he is a brand new driver here for our E-Series. He's just fighting the number 66 here, so it is good to see new people out on the track.
Yeah, we have to probably mention too, Wesley, that Ryan had just stepped in last minute as well too. He's probably got race control messages coming over from the audio of the from the iRacing and stuff like that, or driver chat and stuff like that in his ear. Sometimes we don't hear that. Go ahead.
Where's Nigel at? Did a pump go out again?
No, Nigel's actually out with his dad's birthday tonight, my friend. So, I mean, that takes priority, of course, over motor racing, as you imagine.
Yeah,
hey, that's not fair. That's not fair. I worked on my birthday, Dean.
It's his dad's birthday, but he's celebrating with his old man.
I heard that.
That's all right.
My dad would tell me to get my ass to work, too. He wouldn't tell me not to work. He'd tell me, why aren't you working? Just because it's my birthday, get to work. No, I'm just messing. Nigel, happy birthday, buddy. Enjoy it. And happy birthday to everybody as well.
Yeah, happy birthday to Mr. Seidel, Nigel, out there for his...
Nigel's father's birthday, yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see him spending some time with his old man as well. Gave me the opportunity to come in. I don't really broadcast or commentate or anything, so I kind of stepped in here just a bit shell-shocked, and I didn't really know.
Are you the one that last week posted something and said, well, my playoff hopes are dashed, I guess I'm done, like I'm not in the hunt anymore? Weren't you the one that done that?
That might have been my dad, or maybe I might have been talking about my dad. I do tend to talk a lot of smack just to stir some stuff up, so I do have my fun. But Brenton Hobson still extending that gap 6 seconds back to Jared Filsell. He's pretty much untouchable at this point of time. So 8 laps to go. Matty Raymond here, also for SRM. He's having a great time here for the BMG NASCAR E-Series. He started in 25th, and he's currently on the back door of Daniel Boyd for P number 13. So this is going to be good to see. Give me a bell there on the timing tower as well. Nick Burling, make sure to check out the Burling Motor Group website. He has new stock every day, and his cars are definitely worthwhile checking out. I've been there myself, and he's got some pretty good rides, Wesley. And I think that the folks at home would definitely like to have a look and see if there is a vehicle there in the Gold Coast there for them. But 3-wide battle here. We have Orlando Black, Dane Snadden, and I believe that is also Josh Mickmore just behind there, Nicholas Roach as well there in the battles. So a lot of battles here tonight, Wesley. We've seen the battle up the front for Hobson, Phil Newman, Freya, Bailey. We've seen Zero's A0, I believe. I keep on mispronouncing their name. Getting into a bit of drama. We've had 3 cautions. So much action here for such a short race here at the road course here, Wesley. But 7 laps to go. What's your predictions here? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Jared will catch Brenton, or do you think that they're just going to accept the points and try and move forward?
We mentioned every lap, every position, everything that you can do to put yourself in a better position is what's paramount, obviously, in these latter stages of the race. Oh boy, Fitzroy, Beaumont, Hyde battling side by side, getting sideways.
Nice.
Beaumont battles back on Hyde to get that spot back. That's for a 9th and 10th on the racetrack. Unbelievable.
And that was not easy to catch. Matter of fact, in practice, I was having problems there before I decided ultimately not to do tonight. And also in the truck, it is so hard to catch your car through there because your left-hand side is so loaded. These cars aren't even built to go right. And when you load that side up and then suddenly something happens like that, it's nearly impossible to catch the car again. So it's good to see the battle here between Riki Hyde and Fitzroy Beaumont. Riki Hyde, matter of fact, is pretty local to me. It was about an hour away from where I am, so pretty cool to see some locals in the field as well. So they're fighting pretty hard here. They are fighting, I believe, for the top 10 as well here. No, matter of fact, for 9th as well. So Riki is hunting down some points there as well for the playoffs. But side by side, heading to the double right here, we saw a couple cars get... that's pretty close.
Look at Hyde again. Look at Hyde again, getting a move on Beaumont. Beaumont now going to try to turn the favor, go for the crossover on the passenger side of the door. He's trying to score, boy, just scraped up against the passenger side of the car. Oh, Hyde had to check up. Beaumont was not going to give it back, and now we're going to be side by side going into the corner. Look at this. Oh, man.
Hyde needs everything he possibly can, remember, because he's looking way out in this championship. So he's got to fight for it. He has to. He's got everything to lose, essentially, because he might not see. Whoa, we have an incident. Oh, no, I don't want to push it to you, old man, my friend, but the number 5 is around.
Andy Barber.
Oh, it looks like Andy Barber ran out of talent. He's there on the oval perpendicular. We'll see what happened on the BMG motor replay. He's fighting with Matty Ray. These guys, matter of fact, are friends, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Looks like, just the slightest bit of contact, maybe misjudging where Matty Ray is there and just making contact with the fence there. But it doesn't look like too much damage, so he'll try and soldier on. But I believe he has dropped back a couple positions. They are actually exchanging.
In the championship, go ahead.
Looks like Matty and Dad are exchanging words on the radio. I didn't really hear because I turned it off, but... don't know if he's apologising, don't know if they're going to argue, never know, but these guys both tend to be gentlemen racers. But we'll move forward closer to the front of the pack here, or closer to the front of the pack. We have Nicholas Groch here. He's racing, has Orlando Black on the back side of him, and he is also trying to make a bit of ground on Dane Snadden, but a bit of damage on the back of the 66 there as they're heading into the right corner, just hitting the bad turtle there on the inside of the corner. We're a bit
Aaron M Borg right there in the 7th position, trying to close in on the 27. That's Blaine Densley as they come to the line. By the way, 4 laps to go, 4 remaining. And remember, as we talked about, the top 12 finale tonight, the round of 12. So 4 drivers are going to be eliminated at night's end. 4 drivers gone. 8 will battle for the championship moving in to next week. And there's a look at the point standings for the round of 12 after Kansas last week. What a while that one was. And Russell was the winner. He was a 9-points winner. But every position you can get. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these positions. I would talk about Riki Hyde racing the way he is. Talking about M Borg and guys racing. Look at this. Even Josh Micklemore might possibly get dropped if he has a bad night here. All this going on as we see the teammates of Newman and Phil Sell going at it here as they work their way off turn 14. And Newman in the lead. Phil Sell after him. 3, 2 to go. Penultimate lap in the Roval this time by here, Ryan.
These two Lobs Esports drivers side, they're fighting pretty hard. They're really giving it to each other here. They do have a gap back to top 3, so these guys will not worry behind them for Tom, so they're going to be racing hard. Jared Philso looking at the back of Brad Newman here. They're heading right up to the right-hander here, the uphill right-hander before the hairpin. This is pretty difficult to get through here. Jared Philso just giving that curve just a little bit of a bit of a clip, but looks like Brad Newman goes a little bit wide here. It's going to be interesting to see. Jared Philsell makes up a bit of ground here, and let's just listen very quietly here. You can hear them just ease onto the power on the banking. It's so hard to get traction here, as you heard Jared Philsell just get out of the throttle just a little bit up on top of the banking here as they run down to the bus stop chicane for the second last time. We do have 3 laps to go. Turning in on the 200 feet board, just giving those sausage curves just a little bit of love here. But they're heading into the final chicane here. I love this view here. You can see how close they are, and it's right against the track too, which gives us quite a great view here. But it's very hard to get the car stopped here in the bus stop. But all of the curb, if both of them decide to behave themselves, they might try for a move here in turn 1. Jared Kelsell puts it on the inside of Brad Newman. Will he get the move done?
Yeah, watch this again now as they work their way down into the corner. All this happening. Great racing ongoing.
Oh.
As they'll be looking for the white flag next time by. Look at this, 2 laps to go. Look at Newman. Is Newman saving something even on his team, on his partner, his teammate? Look at this. Is going after it for second. This is Newman and Phil Sell battling for the bridesmaid spot. Look at him dirt tracking. Phil Sell getting it done, and here comes Newman for the crossover. Whoa, and the back bumper. Look at these guys. I bet you they got smiles on their faces right now, heading into turn number 9 and 10. They're having fun. You're having fun at the Roval.
I bet they both have a little cheeky grin on their face. Jared Philsell, don't even know how he kept that car under control through that right-hander. You saw, you took the words out of my mouth, dirt tracking it on the exit there. And this isn't like McLaren. This isn't, there's no team rules here. No one's going to have a little sook if they make a bit of contact with each other. But it looks like Brenton Hobson, 16 second gap in front of Brad Newman and Jared Philsell. He is going to take the win here very shortly if he can make it around one last time here at Charlotte Roval for the BMG X Series lap. One more lap.
Man, look at this guy. Brenton Hobson is just absolutely gone. You want to talk about a guy that has punched his ticket into the round of 8 already, now going to do it with a win? Look at this guy, the number 88 machine, working now out of the inner loops of the race course, right inside the road course infield. Now he's back on track. He's in turn 9, which is turn 1 of the big speedway here at the Roval. And Brenton Hobson hitting his marks perfectly. Hobson now with some traffic up ahead. The 66, all this going on, right? All this happening as he works through the chicane for the final time, up into turn number 13 and 14. This is turn number 3 and 4 of the 24 degrees of banking of the big speedway in Charlotte. Finally gets around Garage the lap machine. Here comes Brenton Hobson, working off of turns 15, 16. Final corner. He's going to win the Roval here.
16
Brenton
seconds.
Hobson dominates this thing, man. Unbelievable.
Don't forget, 16 seconds back. We have the fight between Brad Newman, Jared Filsell. This is going to be interesting to see which one of these lob drivers is going to make it through. And Brad Newman makes it past Jared Filsell. All matter of fact, he defends the position from Jared Filsell to claim the second position. Tom Freer just missing out on the podium here. He's in P4. Matt Bailey is crossing line here. In P5, looks like there's a bit of chaos happening in the turn 1-2. We'll ignore that, but Aaron Borg brings it home in 6th. Blaine Densley in 7th. Matthew Campbell, Riki Hyde, and Fitzroy Beaumont. They complete the top 10 of the field here. But boys, I'm probably going to go run outside, see what's happening with this car accident outside. But it's been great jumping in the broadcast booth with you guys. If I make it back before the interviews, I will be back, boys. But congratulations on the win for Brenton Hobson and Brad Newman, Jared Filsell taking out the podium.
All right. Well, that's the thoughts of Ryan Barber covering for Nigel Siddell. Happy birthday, Seidel's, Nigel's dad. Hope it's a great day for you. We are going to take a break as, before we do that, we need to show the results of tonight's race with the Roval here tonight. And Brenton Hobson has done it. He wins again. Unbelievable. There's the results. Brenton Hobson getting it done. Look at the interval, by the way, over Brad Newman, Jared Filsell for 2nd and 3rd. Then it was Tom Freer, Matt Bailey, top 5. Aaron Borg, Blaine Densley, Rain Campbell, another solid top 10. Riki Hyde, Fitzroy Beaumont, Trenton Gosley, Matt Raymond, Daniel Boyd, Dane Diego Snaden. Did he finish better enough to be able to transfer? We'll find out here for the man of the 07. Orlando Black, top 15. Then it's Nicholas Garrett, followed by Andy Barber. Josh Mickelmore is 18th place. Enough to go to the next round, the round of 8 semifinals for the Season 1 champion. We'll have to find out here. Then it's Riley Curtis and Jason Martin, your top 20. Rest of the finishing order, we'll find Brian Blundell, followed by Brad Wright, Timo Blundell, Joshua Houghton, and Ethan Winter. What a bad night for Winter, the top 25. Then it's Dave Douglas, Tyler Williams, Kai Ardley, Lewis Greathead, Tom Pritchard, the top 30. We'll finish it out, obviously, with Clayton Davies, Sam Chapman when the race ended. Thanks again to Ryan Barber for filling in with me. We're taking a break. We are talking to the podium driver and Brenton Hobson, your winner from the Roval at Charlotte. Stay with us. We're back in a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We're back live, and I believe we're just sorting out everything for the post-race interviews there. I think we got Wesley. I think we even got Nigel that's managed to pop in here as well too there. Gentlemen.
Yeah, we're back here at the Roval, and Brenton Hobson has picked up the win. We'll talk to him in just a moment. The most important thing, obviously, is I don't know how fast it could be that we could unveil what 8 drivers are going to the semifinals. We might not even be able to do that yet before we go off the air. But let's grab Brenton Hobson. Brenton, congratulations, man! Another phenomenal win on the series on the Tuesday night, and you know you're going to the semifinals. But what domination of the 88 here at the Roval at Charlotte. Did you have fun? It looked like you did.
Hey, Wes. I don't know about fun. This track is really not one that I enjoy particularly. It's a really challenging sort of place to be able to drive. And these cars don't like to start, go, turn, stop, anything. So they are a handful, but I'm surprised, to be perfectly honest. I didn't think I'd be that competitive here this week, but you take a win whenever you can get one.
Well, but I'll tell you what, when it's all said and done, man, this was a rather interesting race. It had its share of thrills and spills, and then there was the racing moments, and it just seemed like, man, you were in a totally other level. Nobody, and I mean nobody, could get to you. What's that? How's that make you feel, knowing how competitive and how good your car was here tonight?
I mean, it's good. I probably needed a little bit of momentum. The last 2 weeks haven't been great. We didn't even get a lap completed 2 weeks ago, so... the momentum that we had all through the regular season had certainly fallen away here in the playoffs. So, I mean, a road course is always going to be a strength for someone like me that drives a lot on the roadside, but the momentum you get from a win is always good. Like I said, I was surprised to be as good as I was. I didn't think that I'd be that fast this week, but the run at the end there, I sort of knew if I was patient and got in front of Brad, far enough in front of him that he couldn't get me back, that if I just hit my marks, I could drive pretty well to the end and maintain my speed. So I was very pleased with that performance, I guess, from my perspective. But I didn't expect it tonight. I really didn't think that I'd be quite that fast. So that was a surprise.
Well, buddy, congratulations, man. Obviously, we know, however it stacks up points-wise, you know you're going to the semifinal round of 8 next week. Go ahead and thank your sponsors, man. We'll see you next week, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Obviously, thanks to everyone at SSR. Tom, who was here tonight, having a wheel again and had a good result too, which was cool for him. Obviously, all our sponsors, Sud Speed, Watercraft Performance Centre, all the rest of them on the car that helped make the wheels turn round. And thanks as well to Brad and Jared and everyone else who was out there having a wheel tonight. It was good fun racing. And you guys for putting on the broadcast for us. Appreciate it.
There you go. There is the course. Brenton Hobson getting it done here at the Roval at Charlotte. 27 laps he led, of course, of the 56 tonight when it's all said and done. Brenton Hobson getting it done. Let's grab now Brad Newman. Brad, well, you finished second. I don't know if it was enough for you to transfer. Maybe it was on points, but your take of racing here tonight at the Roval and having fun racing with your teammate Jared Filsell, that's like it was just fun, wasn't it?
Hey, mate. Thank you. Yeah, had a lot of fun tonight out on track. It's always good to race with Jared as well. We both had some pretty torn up tires at the end there, having a crack at each other. So, yeah, it was good fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, good, solid run, fun racing, good seeing you guys competitive. I feel like Newman and Filsell are both hand in hand. Every time we see your cars, if we don't look at the numbers, it looks like you might be Filsell or he might be Newman. But man, at the end of the day, you guys, I think you got something really special working with each other. And do you feel like you did enough to, with finishing second? Do you feel like you've done enough to try to put yourself into the semifinal round of 8? Brad, do you feel like you've done everything you can, or what?
I would have liked to have won, so it was just a bit more clear, but I'm not sure. We'll find out later.
All right, bud. Well, before we let you go, man, please thank your sponsors. We appreciate it.
I'd like to thank you guys for putting these events on, the guys at Lobs Esports, Jared for racing with me, and Dean Thrower for all the help he puts in with us. Thanks, guys.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, Brad Newman. He'll finish in second. Bathurst, by the way, running a big race with, I think, the V8 Supercars this weekend. So I hope y'all enjoy it in Bathurst. Of course, that man finishes in the number 2 spot. Let's grab Jared Filsell. Jared, I know you're not a points driver, but when you're up in front, you've won races in this last couple of weeks, and racing with Brad Newman, the fun you guys have with one another. You finished in the 3rd on the podium. Your take of tonight, sir.
Yeah. Hi, lads. night unravelled for me, unfortunately, with qualifying. Didn't get a lap in, made 2 costly mistakes there. So, yeah, coming through the field was quite fun, but ultimately it's probably led to my demise with a bit of damage and whatnot. I think Hobbo probably had the better long-run car. We had some good short run speed, but as you saw at the end there, man, those things were absolutely cooked. It was a real handful to keep that thing on the track with the damage that I had and the really average tyres as well with that long green flag run there towards the end.
I'll tell you what, Jared, man, just having a good solid run, racing amongst yourself, right, man? You're not a playoff contender, but out here racing with all these other guys, racing with your teammate Brad Newman. Obviously, it's got to be exciting, get an experience. Are we going to see you run for the regular season next year? Is that maybe what your plan is?
Yeah, ideally I would like to. I was just a bit busy earlier on in the season and I couldn't really commit to every week of this, but I've had some stuff fall my way where I'm free on a Tuesday night, so that's really good. So we'll wait and see for next season, and we should be on the grid. It'd be nice to see another full-time Lobs car on the grid with Numo there, give him a bit of a helping hand and help each other out. Just trying to get the dock working. Obviously, we missed it a little bit last week as well. That was a bit of a poor performance from us, but no, I'm definitely looking forward to next week at Vegas, I think it is.
Yeah. Well, buddy, before we let you go, Jared, please thank your sponsors, man. Good job tonight, sir.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank all the lads at Lobs Esports. They get the job done for us. They're always, whether they're not racing or whatnot, they're in the background cheering us on and giving us little tips and tricks for setup if they have it and whatnot, as well as Dean for jumping on and being a spotter on his little laptop. He's struggling a little bit there, but he should get his new rig soon, so he'll be able to spot like a proper spotter, which will be cool. So it's all thanks to those guys. And thanks to you guys for putting on the show as well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is, of course, the driver of Jared Filsell. He will, of course, finish this race in the number 3 position with another good solid run for him when it is all said and done. What a great job. What a great race. It was fun watching him. And when it is all said and done, there it is, a 3rd place finish. Nigel, I see you up here, Nigel. First off, yes. Happy birthday, Dad. Can we unveil the 8 drivers before we sign off, sir, that are in the playoff? Can we do that?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We're going to...
Drum roll, please. I can't afford the real drum. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. There they are. And Brad Newman, you made it in. Oh, look at that. Micklemore, former champion of last year. He's in as well. These guys, Nigel, I know you weren't in the booth with us tonight, but, man, they had to hustle. They had to work and survive the Roval to do just that. And there they are, the 8 drivers that are going to the round of 8 semifinals.
Going to be an absolute cracking race next week at Las Vegas. And just a quick apology as well to all the few glitches we had tonight. I'll be honest with you, it's 100% my fault. I forgot about daylight saving here in Australia and I didn't let everyone know. So I do apologise to everyone out there that's watching.
I was late, but I wasn't late. Nigel, I was late, but I wasn't late.
No, but it was my fault. I needed to let everybody know, and I had my birthday party to go to tonight, and I kind of feel like I've let everybody down, so I do apologise to everyone about that.
I got in the box, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, am I actually an hour behind? And I literally was. Literally. So,
I thank Ryan as well for stepping. No, I was just going to say thanks for Ryan Barber for stepping up and coming into the booth as well at the last minute. I really appreciate it.
Hey, listen, let's get back to reality though with these drivers. There you see the 8 drivers, by the way. The ones in red from Kai Ardley on back. Their time is done. They're out. Ryan, obviously your dad, Andy Barber, is out as well. But you look at the drivers from 1 to 8. And I'll tell you this, since I've jumped on board working with you guys since May, any of these guys, Nigel, have got a shot to win the championship. Any of them.
Oh, 100% we do. And we've got some races, cracking races coming up as well. I'm going off memory now. I think we've got
I think we're going to Vegas next week.
Talladega, Pocono, for at the Triangle for the finale of the round of 8. Then we head to Phoenix. So what a cracking 4 rounds we've got left.
There you go. Ryan, were you able to give us an update on the car accident? You got a traffic report on Australian NASCAR E-Series? You got what's going on out there, Ryan? Yeah,
I think Ryan might have left.
Yeah, I think he left. He left because there was an accident or a car accident or something outside his house. But no, listen, Vegas coming up next week. Then you've got, of course, Talladega. Then you've got Pocono. 3 very unique racetracks in the semifinal round of 8. If you win, though, you punch yourself into the ticket to Phoenix. But I'll be honest with you, Nigel, there's not a guarantee that one of the 8 playoff drivers are going to win and go into the semifinal round. We've seen how good some of these non-playoff drivers have been.
Well, 100% you can, 100%. And then tracks like Pocono, because it's got those few different types of, angles on corners and stuff like that there, may suit the road course, guys like Hobson and Freer. This Talladega, the super speedway, that's someone like Brad Newman who is a little bit more aggressive than most to get those positions up the front. And then we go to the 1.5 mile tracks where we've got Aaron Borg and Ethan Winter, Blaine Densley and Clayton Davies, who are getting better and better. And don't forget who the number 1 car of Josh Mickelmore as well. Don't rule him out. He is the previous series champion, so don't rule him out either. This is too tight. I can't pick it. I can't pick it either way. He's going to make the championship for.
In closing, Dean Hobson. Dean, what do you think we're going to see, buddy? What do you think we're going to see, mate?
I'm going to throw this one out there because you won't understand this, Wesley, but I could predict that a Queensland team will win a football final. There you go. How's that one? I just have to rub it into everybody.
Is that rugby talk?
Yeah,
there you go. Okay.
Anyway, it's football in Australia, and our state won both the premierships.
No, it's crack your bone sports is what it is. Rugby is where you kill each other. You ain't got pads and helmets
Newman
on.
just squeezed in here. Just squeezed in last moment.
He did.
He was looking out, of course. And Carl Adley, unfortunately, had an early retirement on that one. So what could have been a situation where he might have had enough points there, perhaps to not let Newman into this Championship 8 and Taylor Williams. Riki really battled, didn't he, as well, too? Tried to absolute best with his finish as well, too. And P9, and Andy Barber, of course, couldn't quite get it in there. But big names and big races to come, gentlemen.
Yes, sir, it certainly was, man. And as it's all said and done, it is Brenton Hobson obviously advancing. He is the winner tonight. He's the number 1 seed because everything resets, by the way, with the most wins, playoff points, and whatnot. And we look forward to seeing what Las Vegas will provide next Tuesday night, no doubt about it. And I will remember to set my alarm to 4:50 a.m. instead of 5:50 a.m. to make sure I am ready for it so you don't miss any of it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey, by the way, don't forget Australian NASCAR trucks will be in action on Thursday night at the Roval, right here at the Roval as well. And don't forget about the Australian NASCAR Championship Series on Sunday nights. Their next race is not going to be until October the 19th, and that is at Talladega. So I just want to remember, because they were off last week. They should be running this Sunday, but they're not running this Sunday. They're running the following Sunday, October the 19th, again at Talladega. And Talladega should be a wild one. We've got Talladega around the corner. Thanks again, Nick Berlin, the Berlin Murder Group. Give me a Burl. Competitive finance packages, trade-ins, and almost all welcome. And sure, the Roval was exciting. Mr. Nigel, take us to your final thoughts of tonight, sir. Dean, always a pleasure on production. Your take of this evening, and obviously, Nigel, Brenton Hobson, could this be a defining moment tonight? Put him in the number 1 spot. Put him as a winner here at the Roval. Is he thinking championship on the dollar brains right now?
Well, 100%. Final thoughts for tonight. Well, I think we're in for an exciting 3 races to come, especially we're going to go to Las Vegas next week, the 1.5 mile, and then we go to the race I'm looking forward to the most is the championship race, where we're going to be a bit of short track racing and some of the best racing that we had. Who can remember what happened in last year's championships for the X Series and the battles that happened there? So like, it's all going to be happening, and I can't wait for it to unfold.
It should be very, very exciting. Thank you, Dean. Your final take it tonight at the Roval, buddy. Always a pleasure. Always a great job for sure, definitely. And I want to say thank you also to Ryan Barber, who also helped me out with commentary while Nigel ringed in his dad's another year around the sun, celebrating a birthday. I know what that's like. I celebrated my 42nd last Wednesday as well here in the United States. As always, everybody, follow Australian NASCAR E-Series, Australian NASCAR Championships on social media, on YouTube, and we will do it again with the trucks on Thursday here at the Roval. When it's all said and done, Brenton Hobson wins the Roval. 8 drivers going towards a championship, and it begins semifinal round next week at Vegas. For Jason Holdsworth and Nigel Siddell, everybody that is involved with the Australian NASCAR E-Series. For Ryan Barber in the booth and production with the Dean Hopton Biggles himself. This is your announcer, American-Australian voice, Wesley Outland, congratulating the man, Brenton Hobson. He's looking for a title, but tonight he dominates at the Roval. Be good, everybody. We'll see you soon.